Welcome to Saul Talk, a WB Saul High School of Agricultural Sciences production featuring the class of 2021 Natural Resource Management students.
I'm Mr. Smith, your Saul Talk host, as well as the career and technical educator responsible for these amazing natural resource management students featured in this episode. Our objective is to bring awareness, understanding, provide solution, and advocate for environmental topics and issues relevant to our class, directly affecting our communities, and impacting our planet at large. Today, my students will be discussing municipal tap water consumption as compared to bottled water. Let's continue the conversation and debate with this. What makes bottled water a better option than tap water?
What makes bottled water an overall better option over tap water is the simple fact that it's easier. A water bottle is also transportable. And for humans, we are on-the-go creatures. Tap water is not always going to be available to you, as we are never in the house as much as we are on the go. So let's say you're on the highway, you're on your way to work. Instead of being tap water being available, that water bottle is going to be right beside you every step of the way until it's empty. You are not going to ride all the way back to your house to go get some tap water and then make your way back to work, if you get what I'm saying. Water bottles are just accessible, it's transportable, and it's easier.
Thank you very much for your strong argument. I would like to hear the opposite position. What makes tap water a better option over bottled water?
So firstly, I'd like to respond to something Jay said about the water being efficient for on-the-go situations. It may be efficient for on-the-go situations, but it also causes major negative impacts on the environment. Plastic bottles are more likely to be dropped on the ground when the consumer is finished with said bottle. This causes things like plastic pollution.
Responding back to that plastic pollution, also, do you also know
Team
that
water bottle, you'll have an opportunity to respond after they finish.
When you have water bottles exposed to heat, they release BPA, and that could do harm by like liver damage and actually fertilization problems. If you're pregnant and drinking plastic water bottles that's been exposed to heat, it can actually hurt the baby in the womb.
Well, one thing that makes tap water better than bottled water is the cost. Bottled water comes in around $1.22 a gallon, while tap water only comes in at like 0.4 a gallon. So the price of bottled water is more than 300% higher than tap water.
I would like to provide Team water bottle an opportunity to respond.
Yes, the cost for bottled water is much more than just tap water, but that also comes with the safety of knowing that the water that you're drinking is safe for you. Like I said earlier, if you have it between the dates and you keep it in the right conditions, the water will always be safe for you to drink. While with your tap water, there's chances of it causing cancer, liver damage, and so on. So you wouldn't want the random chance of getting those diseases versus the perfect chance, as long as you're doing it right, of drinking the water you love.
All right, I would like to open the floor for Team tap water.
Unlike bottled water, tap water is actually more sustainable. The bottle itself is composed of many chemicals, which will then seep into said water over time.
That not only does the water bottle itself have a major environmental impact, but also transporting the water bottles. Like, we transport through boats, trains, trucks, will also burn fossil fuels. So not only are you drinking water bottles and then throwing away and they're not biodegrading, you're also ruining our atmosphere.
What Zaira was saying about transporting said water, yeah, you'd have to transport the bottled water from the factory or wherever it comes from to a store, and then you would have to go to said store and buy that water and bring it back home, opposed to where tap water is already accessible. It's in your house. It's a constant flow. It's not going to go away unless you don't pay your water bill.
And then on that note, drinking tap water is just the more environmentally friendly or more sustainable choice. Obviously, because, if you're drinking tap water, you're using a glass, you're using a reusable bottle, something like that. and you're not buying bottled water, which is a huge issue in terms of pollution and litter on our streets and in the rivers. You know, I think everybody can see that anytime you walk down pretty much any street in Philly, you see plastic bags, plastic bottles, and it's the same way in the river. So we want to make sure that we're having a positive impact on the environment, and tap water, you know, simply drinking tap water is one of the ways that you can do that.
Just to let you guys know, 25% of more bottled water is just tap water in a plastic bottle. Also, about the health issues, actually about 22% of the brands tested contained chemicals at levels above state health limits.
What are the economic benefits of using bottled water?
One of the economic benefits for using bottled water is that it makes jobs for people. It makes them money. It brings them food on their table. Is that there are companies out there such as the Just Water Company, which is the creators of the Box Water, that help donate and fix people's pipes in their hometowns where they're getting this water from. Is that there are companies out there such as the Just Water Company, which is the creators of the Box Water, that help donate and fix people's pipes in their hometowns where they're getting this water from, so that they don't have to worry about, you know, pollution in their tap water. You know, they're still trying to help you guys out, even though they know that their product is good.
To piggyback off of what my partner said, job opportunities are open, but also it's cheap. Water bottles are cheap. You get a quantity of 24 water bottles for less than $5 sometimes.
All right, thank you. Now, I would like to give tap water an opportunity to address that same question. What is the economic benefits of tap water?
The fact that bottled water costs $1.22 per gallon, while tap water only comes in at a lowering cost of 0.4 gallons of water. The price of bottled water is more than 300% higher than tap water. So this alone can save the consumer money rather than paying for extra costing water when they could just receive it from their home. It comes right out the faucet.
It really just doesn't make sense to drink bottled water if you're trying to save money, because tap water is just so ridiculously cheap. You just simply can't compare the cost of tap water versus bottled water. Are you familiar with how much tap water costs per gallon? Could you just take a guess if it's like $1, 50 cents, a penny?
$0.00.
You're so close though. So obviously, if you're a water department customer, you do pay a water bill, and a percentage of that bill you're paying for, you know, the water that comes out of your tap. So, but per gallon, tap water costs less than a penny. Okay, so can you imagine? That's so much water for so cheap, you know? But if you go to the store, if you went to CVS or 7-Eleven or Fresh Grocer or something, and you went to buy a gallon of bottled water, it would cost you a few dollars, you know? It would cost you maybe $3, $4, $5, depending on the brand.
All right, let's conclude our debate with some final statements. Let's begin with bottled water.
Well, yeah, it may cost more, but remember, you are paying for that safety. As stated by ustoday.com, they said 87% of cancer risk present in tap water comes from arsenic and byproducts of common disinfectants. So this is the stuff that they're using to clean your water with, and 87% of it is just purely chlorine, lead, and 87% of it is all the disinfectant stuff like that you don't want in there.
Let's now hear final statements from our tap water people.
Yeah, lead comes from the pipes, not the water. So the water does not contain automatically lead. It has to go through old house pipes that has lead in it.
I stated the pipe
But
thing
doesn't
earlier,
your
because
water
I use
flow through
lead.
those pipes?
But don't your waters flow through those pipes? Like, where do you think you get your water from? You really think somebody's gonna go up to a
Spring water doesn't flow
They
through.
don't. It comes from groundwater.
Where you get your water
They
from?
don't.
You really think
They
somebody's gonna go
don't.
up to a
Spring
water
water doesn't flow
They
through.
don't. It comes from groundwater.
All right.
It comes from groundwater.
So it looks like we're getting a little out of hand here. So we're going to conclude this debate, and I would like for our listeners to decide, which one do you think is better, tap or bottled water? We have good, strong arguments from both sides. So it's now time for you to do the responsible thing. Thank you very much for being a part of our debate.
I'm here to convince you why drinking tap water is better than drinking bottled water.
I drink a lot of water, so like I can probably tell which one is which.
According to the 2018 Federal State Water Act report, Philadelphia continues to deliver safe, reliable, high-quality drinking water that exceeds EPA standards. In the Philadelphia Inquirer's April 24, 2019 article titled, "Can Philly Get Residents to Drink Tap Water?" Nearly 40% of the city residents drink bottled water at home. Many in the belief that tap water is unsafe or doesn't taste good. However, of those who drink tap water, 70% of residents rate the quality of Philadelphia water excellent or good. I challenge a number of Saul students to participate in a water taste test to determine if they could tell the difference between water from our school drinking fountain versus bottled water from the NPR vending machine. Let's see what they think.
I think this one's tap.
And then say which one is which, right?
Can't taste the difference. Okay,
I think this one's tap. And this one bottled.
I think this one's tap.
This one's colder, so I think it's from a water fountain.
This the bottled one.
this is tap, and this is decant. Bottled tap.
Single-use bottles are everywhere. You can find them in vending machines, supermarkets, and Wawa, and even in your own refrigerator. But do you really need them? Single-use bottles are one of the most important form of pollution found in our neighborhoods, landfills, and on beaches throughout the oceans. It takes 450 years for a plastic bottle to decompose, while approximately 20% of the plastic waste is recycled. 79% still ends up in landfills, oceans, or scattered about as litter. Currently, it's estimated that there are 100 million tons of plastic in the ocean around the world. While using single-use bottles, plastic bags, and other plastic items that we use just once and then throw it away may be convenient. By using reusable bottles like this one here, we can reduce plastic waste, save money, and lower the number of wildlife being affected by plastic pollution.
Oh, it's bottled. And then tapped. So I was wrong.
Got it right. That's not tap water.
It was tap. I drank a lot of tap water at home because we don't have the money for bottled water. So I know what tap tastes like.
Since I love water, this one is purified water. This one is from the fountain because this one is nasty. And this one, I drink Dasani, and I know how much alkaline is in it. So this is Dasani, and this is the tap.
No, this is tap, and this is decant. And yeah, there you go. That's tap. Not surprised. And that's the other one. Not surprised. Can't tell the difference. When I drink bottled water, I don't like it because it tastes kind of chemical-ish.
That's not Dasani, yo. That's Kit.
Right? And tap water just tastes like water that I've been drinking for basically my whole entire life.
Sometimes tap water is better though, so. Alright, can I drink these now?
As you can see, most of those surveyed either couldn't tell the difference or had clear preference for tap. I'll leave you with this. On average, bottled water costs $1.22 per gallon, which may seem cheap, but over time, this cost adds up considering tap water is 300% less than cost.
Allow me to take another approach to convince you why you should start using one of these. Let's start with the basic math problem. If you drink 2 single-use bottled waters a day for a month, that is equal to 60 water bottles. Over the course of a year, that number becomes 730. If one bottle of water from our vending machine costs $1.25, then you are spending $912.50 a year on single-use bottles. I can think of many other things to do with that money. In short, by using these reusable bottles, we are reducing waste, saving money, minimizing the negative impact on wildlife and our environment at large.
I would like to share with you all different alternative bottles to using plastic bottles. The first way is using insulated stainless steel bottles. These bottles are a much better alternative to plastic bottles because they can keep cold drinks cold or hot drinks hot. Stainless steel bottles are also safe from BPA and phthalate, so it's safe to drink from them. They're also easy to clean, so you won't have to worry about what detergent to use. The second way is using an aluminum bottle. Aluminum bottles have an enamel layer, meaning it has an increase in durability and usability. They are also 100% recyclable and affordable, so if you damage or dent your aluminum bottle, you can put it in your recycling bin and buy another one. Like the insulated stainless steel bottles, they are also easy to clean and you won't have to use any special detergents. The third way is using a glass bottle or a mason jar. If you have just finished using a jar of pickles or pasta sauce, then you could clean and rinse that jar and use it to make your own water bottle. Glass is non-permeable, meaning the bottle won't absorb odors or colors to it. Glass bottles also can be used to store hot or cold drinks, but they are not insulated. Finally, glass bottles and mason jars are very durable, so it can save you money and you won't have to buy another water bottle, but be careful not to drop and shatter them. A final and simple alternative to using plastic bottles is using a cup or mug from your cupboard and drinking from your sink. Your sink water is safe and clean to drink from, so you don't have to worry about what's coming out of your faucet. All of this information can be found on softeningwater.com.
What do you say to people who are questioning or who are buying the Brita filters, the pure water filters?
We don't necessarily endorse using a filter because we are providing water where if you just take it straight from the tap, it is perfectly safe to drink. So, it's not like we're telling people, buy a filter so that the water is better. The water is, we have really fantastic water. So to drink it out of the tap is perfectly fine.
Thank you, Mara Jarvis from the Philly Water Department. Thank you for your information.
That concludes our Saul Talk podcast conversation and debate on tap versus bottled water, featuring the class of 2020 and 2021 Natural Resource Management students from WB Saul High School of Agricultural Sciences in Philadelphia. We look forward to you listening to more of our Saul Talk conversations in the future.
To learn more about our school and how to watch our Saul Talk,
follow us on Instagram at WBSaul_media.
We at Saul Talk believe everyone can participate and contribute towards correcting our environmental wrongs and problems.
Saul Talk is a WB Saul High School production featuring Sierra Brody, Ashante Carr, Zadie Elise Davila, Joshua McCuff, Elijah Mendoza, Anthony Rivera, and Sean Washington. Taught by CTE teacher and Saul Talk curriculum producer, Mr. Gregory Smith. Every day is Earth Day.